Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Pisces September 28, 2022. Today is powerful for bonding through supportive conversations and for productive think sessions. You might find out some beneficial information. Keep your mind peaceful now, and you can learn and gain insights into recent events or problems. In fact, today is better for coming to peace with yourself and recent events than for revving yourself up for new activities. As well, mulling over the things you want to improve is highly favored. Interests and direction can shift after tomorrow's new moon, and what you start today may not come to pass or hold weight. Instead, today is good for reflection or tying up loose ends. Reflecting upon the progress you've made with family and with domestic matters in general over the past few weeks is especially appropriate as the moon aligns with Mercury in your sector of home and family. It's a great ideas day, particularly about your personal life and long-term plans to boost your feelings of security or family. Pleasant conversations that soothe and help you center yourself can figure strongly. The last few days may have had you buzzing with anticipation at work. Luckily, today calls for a small break from the astrological, and even professional, frenzy. The moon is in peaceful Libra, which is calling your attention to home and family. You may need to rest from work or find that your home life is taking priority over work today. If possible, you may even be able to work from home or take a day off to gather your thoughts. If not, consider keeping to yourself today to mull over your recent opportunities at work. After a friendly aspect to Saturn in your financial sector yesterday, the moon will move into a friendly aspect to Jupiter there today. This comes on the heels of Mercury's same friendly aspect to the planet of luck and expansion earlier in the week, adding to a growing sense of financial confidence and especially when it comes to the future. For now, trust your gut without overthinking things. The planetary alignment today makes you feel ever ready to take on the next phase of your personal development. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, whatever development you are focused on right now, today's aspect will help you take the lead. Yoga is a practice that combines all of those areas into one, and when practiced on a daily basis, yoga can help you make the most of this transit. You have about 10 days left, so don't miss out. Prepare yourself with water intake before you practice, while Venus will be doing her best to attract opportunities and to make her last full day in your work sector as opportune and lucrative as possible. She is also focused on her legacy. This comes just as the moon and Mercury are not only working to put the focus on home and family matters but are actively exposing any work-life balance issues. Venus has no intention to make today any busier than it needs to be, but the planets that will arrive over the coming weeks won't share that sentiment. With the moon returning to your romantic sector to begin the lead up to a new moon and Venus, the planet of love, returning to your relationship sector tomorrow, this is the start of a special few days on both fronts. These will also be gateway days, opening up to some of the most important romantic weeks of the year and the start of a relationship boost that will continue into 2022. The moon is sitting alongside savvy Mercury via your emotionally driven fourth house of home, family, and intuitive knowledge, bringing clarity to themes surrounding your innermost feelings and emotional foundations. Single? Luna's sweet sextile to Venus via your responsible sixth house of due diligence invites you to integrate your inner knowing with your day-to-day lifestyle, especially when it comes to your love life. Your intuition is on point, which is typical of you during a water season. On another note, the moon will simultaneously clash with smoldering Pluto via your committed seventh house of one-on-one connections, which serves as a reminder to prioritize your sense of security. You have a wide-ranging palate and are often the person at the table who will order something new or unusual. This palate is connected to a willingness to explore the physical and sensual areas of life. It's important to be open-minded about physical pleasure, though some do not give themselves permission to do so from a young age and become blocked. The body can store blocked energy in profoundly secretive ways. Experiment with various holistic massage practices if this interests you, Alexander technique is 1. Our eyes in the sky. Ode brings the moon in Libra, creating a grand air trine with Venus and Saturn. This is a beautiful energy to lift your spirits. You might be able to step back from your problems and see them from a more analytical perspective. There's a strong feeling of harmony, with the sun and moon in Libra bringing many gifts of happiness and community. You might even be able to express some of the things you've been holding back over the last few days. As Venus in Gemini gently connects with Saturn in Aquarius, there is a refreshing ease of mind. You're able to work around your problems and see the more evolved side of the lesson. Remember that there is some kind of duality in everything. Whether you're taking the good with the bad or understanding the lessons of the shadow side, you have much to appreciate right now. You might even strengthen your connection to a wider group of like-minded individuals who also see the world from a more spiritual perspective, so be open to the people you meet online or off. Secret admirers can come out of the woodworks with little or no warning during transits like these. This week brings you a sigh of relief. You'll find out that change is possible. If you've been lax about stabilizing your career and looking toward advancement, it's time to make a shift. If your career doesn't want to cooperate, you need to map out the steps for change. Money follows when you get in touch with your emotions. Whatever makes you happy will give meaning to your working life. Before noon, retrograde Mercury aligns with Venus in Virgo, helping us to communicate our feelings and desires. However, because Mercury is retrograde, we may also be re-evaluating our affections and determining where others fit into our lives. Planets in Virgo crave structure, and under this influence, we may assess whether romance has become ritualistic instead of helping us to grow. Fortunately, we can discuss sensitive issues with our partners now without hurting their feelings, but we may still come off as more critical than we intend. Maintaining a little bit of self-awareness should help to mitigate this problem. If someone does permit us to assist them, we will make sure they don't forget it. Reminders of how giving and generous we are subtly imply that we are owed a debt of gratitude, which inevitably breeds resentment, making the other party wish they hadn't asked in the first place. We should monitor our actions closely today. Self-reflection is the only way to determine whether we are out of line or overstepping another's boundaries. Before noon, retrograde Mercury aligns with Venus in Virgo, helping us to communicate our feelings and desires. However, because Mercury is retrograde, we may also be re-evaluating our affections and determining where others fit into our lives. Planets in Virgo crave structure, and under this influence, we may assess whether romance has become ritualistic instead of helping us to grow. Fortunately, we can discuss sensitive issues with our partners now without hurting their feelings, but we may still come off as more critical than we intend. Maintaining a little bit of self-awareness should help to mitigate this problem.